gentlemen, welcome to the DarkMatch. As all of you know, we are just a bunch of total WWE marks, so obviously we're all going to be completely in love with the show we're reviewing today, the No Way Out pay-per-view. I am Genghis, your host, and also with me are fellow WWE Universe fanatics such as...
I am your foxy friend Backlash, and holy shit, that was amazing.
I'm Duo's Angel, and I'd have to agree.
And I'm Ironbite. Ironbite Dash. I'm scared, but here's what's Iron Sheik tweeting now. Shia LaBeouf. Who the fuck? He is worse than O.J. Simpson, or better.
Wait, what?
I don't know. I don't know.
Apparently, Sheik doesn't know either. That's what I got from that.
Shia LaBeouf, you murdered 2 exes and a new boyfriend.
I mean, he goes through these cycles, it appears, and I guess he watched Transformers and is like, that Shia LaBeouf dick. I hate him.
He just happened to pop in like Transformers 2 today, and
he sees someone and he's like, am I supposed to like him or hate him?
I know, I'll ask my fans because, well...
Wait, why the fuck are we talking about Shia LaBeouf? We got a show to do here, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, we watched that WWE pay-per-view No Way Out.
Yes!
And,
yes!
It had its moments, but I wasn't knocked over by it overall, but...
Yeah,
anyway.
That was what I was getting from the rest of the internet. Yeah, I hang out with more than just you guys.
If anybody was wondering, that opening joke of mine about WWE marks is because every time we say anything bad about TNA at all, there's inevitably people in the YouTube comments section saying, "Oh, you guys are just WWE marks, and you kiss Vince's ass. You love Hornswoggle, don't you?"
No.
Yeah, I don't think they listen to our WWE shows. They just see, ooh, they're talking about TNA. I love TNA. I'm going to watch this. And then, like an hour later, I must rage at you because that is how I choose to spend my time.
Yeah,
that's like the same three. It's the same 3 people every time who are, I guess, are the only 3 people left still buying TNA pay-per-views.
Also, who the
proof that they even watch the TNA shows?
Also, who the hell has a problem with the Muppets? Like, did you not have a childhood?
Oh God! Somebody bitched about us praising the Muppets. I hate those people now.
The Muppets could remake Citizen Kane, and it would be awesome.
It'd be interesting. That's for fucking
Someone
sure.
just didn't hug you enough. That's the problem.
Oh,
we're now attacking people's personal lives, and that's kind of fucked up, even for us.
Okay, No Way Out. We're talking about No Way Out.
Yeah, okay. Indeed. I don't know if anybody else did. I did catch the pre-show, fast-forwarded through most of it. And there was a David Otunga match versus Brodus Claim. It sucked.
Move on.
It didn't have a finish.
There's
nothing else to say.
No, listen to this finish, guys. All right. At one point, Otunga gets knocked outside the ring. Referee's counting. Otunga gets to go back in. Brodus is there waiting for him, and Otunga just stands there beside the ring staring at them until the referee counts 10.
What?
I just don't fucking get that.
He walks away.
Well, okay, you lost and you look like a bitch.
So...
Brodus, who'd been working this knee injury gimmick and whose knee had been horribly worked over throughout the entire match, then danced afterwards. Now, admittedly, he was kind of selling it like, okay, I'm taking it easy on this one leg, but he was still fucking dancing.
Wow.
On this leg.
I have never. I'm going to admit, I don't watch the pre-shows because, well, they've obviously stopped caring.
Yeah, I mean, when's the last time there was a good match on a pre-show?
Miz versus somebody. Oh, speaking of which, no Miz.
Yeah, with all the people that they've had to either suspend or put on the injured list, Miz is not getting moved up. What is up with this?
Well, here's the thing. Miz, right now, is in fact filming the Marine 3, because Randy Orton obviously was the worst choice in the world. I don't get that. I mean, yes, I understand he was dishonorably discharged, but...
Yeah, well, they actually work with the Marine Corps on making these movies.
Right. So I guess the Marines were like, yeah, this guy doesn't...
Starring who? A deserter? We'll throw a grenade in his fucking trailer if he shows up.
Yeah. And then he had to smoke pot, and now we'll probably never see him again.
You know what? As much as I do kind of enjoy Randy Orton, if I never had to see his monotone, expressionless face, except when he's, insane, I wouldn't mind.
I don't know.
No Way Out.
Him as a serial killer would be interesting, but as an action hero, I don't know.
So, let's curtain jerk.
Curtain jerker is... it's the World Heavyweight title. Damn, it must be WrestleMania.
Yeah, I know.
No, it's Dolph Ziggler versus Shane.
Half the pay-per-views nowadays.
Well, with how...
I don't understand why the fuck they opened with titles.
Yeah, especially since isn't the Ryback squash like the semi-main event tonight?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of the cool-down match, but we'll get to that. And really, with how mismanaged the World Heavyweight title picture has been lately, I'm kind of not surprised.
I'm not surprised either, mostly because of the fact that the original plan going into this was Alberto Del Rio versus Sheamus, and then Alberto Del Rio got a concussion, and it's like, oh shit, let's go with plan...
Yeah, so like plan H, last second, Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, I mean, this was a good match. Dolph Ziggler is quite possibly one of the best guys they've never pulled the trigger on. Yes, he's had the United States Championship, but I really do feel he is more than welcome in the main event scene. And I really wish more people would see that. I mean, did you really expect anybody to be saying that about the guy who is part of the Spirit Squad?
No, I never expected him to get this far. I don't know if he's still quite ready to main event yet for a couple of reasons. First of all, I don't think a lot of the crowd buys him as a serious threat to some of the top guys. Now, not this crowd here at the Meadowlands in New Jersey, because they fucking loved him. They were cheering the hell out of him, and the announcers sounded downright embarrassed to be trying to pretend to say... They did that thing where on commentary where they're just ignoring reality, where the crowd's going, "Let's go Ziggler," and Lawler's like, "They're cheering for Sheamus."
You know, I know Cole operates in his own little world 100% of the time. Where
if Lawler just blatantly lies about something like that, it means Vince or someone is in his headset telling him to say that.
Lawler's going, "You better not acknowledge these cheers, Lawler." Liked it better when Paul's in charge, Vince. They're cheering for Sheamus.
But also, just Ziggler sometimes seems like when it was his time to go on offense for an extended period of time, he kind of felt like he ran out of shit to do. He kept going back to chin locks and sleeper holds a lot.
So the Randy Orton style of heel.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was a bad night, but his punches were looking kind of lame at times. Not as bad as Brodus Clay's did. Wow, those were awful. But just that, and I noticed he was reusing moves a lot. Like the big drop kick to the face, he did it twice. Big jumping DDT, he did that twice. Seemed like he just has a little... He's so used to working the shorter matches where it's mostly him getting the shit kicked out of him and taking these huge bumps. He's not used to filling up time when it's time for him to go on offense. Which he can learn that, and I don't think it'd be that hard for him to learn. I just don't think he's quite there yet.
Right.
I don't know. It's kind of frustrating with Ziggler, though, because like on occasion he gets to the main event spot, but then they just seem to forget about him afterwards.
Yeah, and also he is a guy with a cowardly gimmick who was in the Spirit Squad, who takes the most ridiculous "I just got shot in the face" bumps, and his name's Dolph Ziggler. So it's amazing he got this far.
There's that too. But anyways, in case you guys didn't know, Sheamus wins with the broke kick, which they're really trying to, put over as the end all be all move of Sheamus.
Yeah, because Sheamus has like 37 different finishers.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the white noise, he's got the white power, he's got the white
Yeah.
chocolate.
Whoa. They actually let him have a move called White Power.
No,
It's called the Krusty Kryptonite Crunch.
I mean, they've got
Get it?
so
Get it?
yeah.
Uh,
I mean, they've
oh god.
got him with so many freaking moves. It's like, what is he? What big power move from Japan is he gonna pull out next? Is he gonna pull off a burning hammer?
He already does the Yakuza kick, the Emerald Fusion, and what's the other one?
Um. Oh God, I think. Well, right now he's doing.
Right now, see, WWE goes in like these cycles where at different times they'll have like 6 different guys who all do nearly identical finishers. Like there was a time back about 10 years ago where half the roster was doing a neckbreaker of some sort as a finish. Now it's guys doing moves where they start with the person as a fireman's carry and somehow slam them to the ground in a slightly different fashion than the other 14 people who have start with a fireman's carry into a slam.
Right, because
And that yeah, and Sheamus's other move is one of those.
yeah, well, like I said, Sheamus wins with the broke kick. Okay, good. I don't, and then after that match, I'm like, huh? How do we cool this? Oh, we'll go backstage with Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis.
Yeah, not one of John's best nights on the mic here.
Yeah.
Well,
Vince's just hand signal to just keep him from coming into his dressing room was kind of funny.
it was, and really, I mean, okay, we know what happened on Monday night. We know the new stipulation is if John is getting fired tonight. Will it be Laurinaitis? Will it be? I couldn't even finish that.
Come on. Keep your professionalism.
All right, is it going to be Cena? We'll find out at the end of the night because now we've got a tuxedo match.
Yeah.
Well,
This is honestly something I don't think we've seen in WWE for a while.
No,
I've seen worse tuxedo matches, I'll put it that way.
you know what? I like this match because
Yeah. And they name dropped a lot of those worst tuxedo matches on commentary during this one.
I mean, okay, it's Santino Marella versus Ricardo Rodriguez.
Yeah.
I'm
And
not.
Ricardo needs to find more than one facial expression for when he's unhappy, but other than that, he's awesome.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm not unhappy. They're doing a tuxedo match. So the two comedy guys are doing a comedy spot.
Hmm. And it's they don't drag it out. It's short. I mean, like it starts out with like Ricardo rips Santino's jacket, and Santino's like, "This is my only tuxedo. I don't own another one."
I'm disappointed he didn't come out in a tuxedo shirt.
Yeah, it was kind of. I mean, the
Or actually, I can't believe I actually have a chance to mention this. But do you know that there exists an item called the Fuck Zito?
What?
It is a jumpsuit. It's a full body jumpsuit that when you're wearing it looks like an actual tuxedo, and it just zippers up and buttons, and it looks like you're wearing a tuxedo.
Uh-huh.
That is actually what it's called. I would have thought Santino would have gone with that at least.
Well, it's got to be that breakaway. And by the way, the crowd shat all over this match.
Big boring chant.
Oh yeah. Of course Santino wins.
Well, I don't know. This probably isn't the kind of match you put on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, that was probably.
Yeah,
If these two were actually going for the United States title in a regular match, well, it's Chimera versus Santino Marella.
this is one of the first of several segments on this show that felt like filler.
Yeah.
It's just like, here's a Raw that you paid $50 to watch.
Congratulations! Now you know how how a TNA audience feels. Like, that's not a good thing. Like I said, Santino gets the win with the Cobra after stripping Ricardo.
No, he gets the win with the lower Cobra. That is, he had one on his foot. A Cobra sock after Ricardo threw away the earlier one.
Oh.
So he kicked him in the face with that.
That was smart of him. Almost okay, no, I can't stop.
Well, the way he sold it though was hilarious. Like Ricardo is yanking his sock off, and it's like if you're watching and you know what's coming, it's like, oh, there it is. But it's like he does that, and Ricardo like turns to throw the sock out of the ring, and behind him, Santino lifts his leg high into the air. I mean, his big toe was somehow like 5 feet off of the mat. And it's like he's holding up Excalibur, and the crowd actually sees it and gets it right away and pops.
Yeah,
big
the
for it.
crowd's back into this match, which is it. Some of the cities that they do pay-per-views in, the crowd is like schizophrenic.
Yeah, and this one had its moments. I mean,
Right, but yeah.
After this, they die for about the next hour.
Mm.
After the next match, anyway.
Well, next up we have another backstage segment, and guys, it's time for Crazy AJ.
Yay.
You know,
He reminds me of my ex-girlfriends, except skinny here.
And shorter, and geekier, and you know, AJ reminds me of a lot of things. But good lord, she is playing some form of game. I don't know what it is. I honestly cannot tell you what type of game she is playing, but she is manipulating all three of these guys in this main event.
Yeah.
Oh well,
She lived in the land of Westeros, and she would win the Game of Thrones, become the queen, have all of her enemies' heads upon spikes within a week and a half.
yeah, you know what? You're probably fucking right. Oh, we are such nerds. But yeah, I mean, it's just it's amazing. And this is the thing: she's not heel. She
Oh,
Not
audience loves
yet.
her.
she's some form of weird Harley Quinn-esque crazy thing. And
No,
like,
not even Harley Quinn. She's the mastermind of this whole goddamn thing.
yeah, you're pretty much right. Well, anyway. But you know what? Like CM Punk, I dig the crazy AJ. Shut
Well,
up.
the thing is that she said it like a while back on Raw. She likes having guys pay attention to her. That's what all of this is about. Is that she will do anything for attention. So she may not be a heel, but I think they will. She may not be a real heel right now, but I think she might be heading in that direction eventually. When people finally start realizing that, yes, she's just a manipulative bitch.
I don't care if she's a face or a heel. She's damn entertaining to watch.
Oh, yeah, as long as she remains cute as a button and twice as crazy, I'm happy.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there we go. So next up, we've got the Intercontinental Championship, Christian versus Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, this began the trend of the crowd just not giving much of a fuck.
And then realizing, oh, this is a really good match.
They did have a good match. I mean, it's one of those Christian matches where like it's a counter-palooza, like everything is a counter to a counter of a counter. I mean, it breaks the counter.
No,
Get it?
Oh, I see what
Any
you did.
ways you can use that word?
Yeah.
oh, I need to go get my drink off the counter.
Okay. Yeah, I think we've covered all of them
Yeah,
now.
I think that.
And I mean, this is just a good, solid back and forth match. Both guys bumping their ass out. Christian was taking some nasty fucking bumps out there, especially.
Well, you know what? I'm really, really loving Cody Rhodes right now. More so than I've actually liked Cody Rhodes to begin with. I mean, the guy actually goes to his dad, the American Dream, and asks him how he can improve, and then goes and just incorporates it into what he's doing. I mean,
Yeah, and there's a lot of old school NWA influence in this guy. If you
Right.
watch, it's like there's a lot of Tully Blanchard stuff that he's doing out there. There's some Arn Anderson-ish stuff out there he's doing. I mean, that kind of thing.
there's even a little hardcore Holly. And who was the last person to ever honor hardcore Holly?
Yeah.
Or even
Well, they did team together when Cody first got his break in the company.
yeah, when he was CAW D Rhodes. Because he looked like a
Mm.
Yeah, I get it. Anyways, great match. I thought it was solid. The crowd gets into it at the end, which was, what we wanted, and then Christian connects with the spear. What?
And I guess Cody's going back to Kenya.
What?
Oh yeah, we were talking about this last night. The reason that Cody hasn't really been on TV these past couple of weeks is because WWE has been having him promote shows in Kenya.
Really?
Interesting choice.
I know.
Because when you think the heart of Africa, you think the son of the American dream.
I know I do. Ah.
It's like, come on, you don't. It's like you've got 27 different black guys on NXT who never get onto Raw. They could use a little bit of a job, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, speaking of part of those 26 black guys on NXT, let's have a #1 contendership
Also-
for the WWE Tag Team Championships.
Also, speaking of not giving a shit,
Yeah,
Our
this is
call
when the crowd
quality.
stopped.
yeah.
Right.
I'm sorry. Okay, we've got Primo and Epico versus Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel versus the Primetime Players, Titus O'Neil and Darren Young, versus the Usos. Raise your hand if you give a shit about any of those people.
The crowd kind of like the Usos. They cared nothing about anybody else.
And that
Well, that's because the Usos are the only ones with any sense of personality. And how
Yeah.
sad is that?
Yeah.
And I mean, okay, Titus O'Neil and Darren Young have been trying, oh so trying, to get themselves over as the heel tag team, and all they are a pair of narcissistic idiots.
All I can do is stare at Darren Young's amazing thighs. Have you ever really looked at those things? They're huge.
Say I have.
They're big around as my torso. Look at his fucking thighs the next time those guys in the ring. They are just gargantuan.
Jingus, you want to tell us something about yourself?
Yeah, I'm distracted by disproportionate body parts. It's unreal.
Oh, God. There was some. Now, don't get me wrong. This match had some good spots and some good stories. And by the way, the only reason Abraham Washington is out here, apparently he's managing the Primo and Epico.
Yeah, he's AW.
Yeah, AW. I don't fucking care. Because
Yeah, and then he turned on them at the end.
yeah, and for what
Really?
reason?
And it was one of those like Russo kind of heel turns where like somebody just magically knows that the finish isn't going to happen before they turn 15 minutes into the match.
It was just.
It's like, there was 27 other near falls earlier, but I'm not going to interfere until this one.
Yeah, it was I mean, I was looking at this heel turn and I was looking at this as AW cost Epico and Primo the #1 contendership and joins up with the Primetime Players. I'm looking at this and I'm going, the fuck just happened here?
And this was like, because I was just watching some shit on YouTube and I came across a segment from a couple years back where Nexus beat the fuck out of Bret Hart. And in that, Justin Gabriel looked like a star. At the moment where, like, he gets up on the top rope to do the 450 on Bret, and the other at Nexus are all in a line in the ring, like, posing, and he does that thing where he gives that weird, creepy look from side to side across the entire arena, where he's taking his time before the 450. It's just like, this guy's really gonna become something, and look what they've done with him. They've somehow made everybody lose whatever fucks they ever gave about
Yeah,
him.
now Justin Gabriel is the Cape Town werewolf. What?
What?
There's not.
Okay, he does kind of look like every werewolf on True Blood, but still.
But here's another thing. There are no wolves in Cape Town.
Yeah, don't they have lions there?
Yes, they have lions. There's also no wolves on his fucking ring gear.
Eh.
But yeah, it's like I said, the primetime players, Darren Young and Titus O'Neil, are your new tag team champions because R-Truth has a broken foot.
Yeah.
Also,
Because AW turned on them to... Is this a race war thing? Because the black guy turned
I don't
on the
know.
next to join with the other black
I
guys?
still have no idea who Abraham Washington is, despite the fact that you guys have
Who the
explained.
fuck is Surge?
Despite the fact that
Yeah, like this is kind of the first time I've ever heard of the
50
guy.
times about it.
Yeah, apparently he joined Epico and Primo like 5 minutes before the show started.
No. Actually, and I hate to say this, he joined up with Epico and Primo after they lost the tag team championship to Kofi and R-Truth.
No, oh, that's right.
And then Epico and Primo and Abraham Washington and Rose all just kind of disappeared.
I remember, the one thing I do remember is that one time they were cutting a promo backstage, and then they just cut right before the promo started. Like, they started showing they show 5 seconds of the promo, and then they cut away to something else.
Which is just how much I don't really fucking care because after the match, by the way, Neil and Young beat down Epico and Primo. And it's like, when's Carlito coming back? If ever?
Never.
I, you know.
If I may be allowed to quote King Lear for a moment.
Go ahead.
I've seen too. Never, 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 never.
Then what's the point for Bound for Glory? I don't know
Wait,
what that
what?
came from either.
Mm.
So anyways.
We're all stalling like hell because we don't want to talk about the next segment.
Oh, God.
Triple H.
And I skipped the fuck out of this, so someone else can recap it.
All right, Triple H is coming out to talk because that's what we paid $50 for.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
he basically just comes out to talk about Brock Lesnar, and he doesn't like that Brock Lesnar broke his arm a couple months ago, and he wants to kick his ass. Odds of that happening, I'd say 30% with the way Brock's relationship is with WWE right now.
Brock Lesnar. My God, how stupid can you be? And this is the guy that they've been touting. Oh, he's a great businessman. Why would you do? Why would you go to you wouldn't tell the WWE, hey, to kind of build up the storyline, I'm gonna go appear at a UFC event. Is that okay? Cool. Instead, it's I'm just gonna fucking go. I don't get that.
This guy, this was such a mess. They had to rehire Paul Heyman just to salvage it.
Yeah.
Okay, Paul, you're greatly experienced at taking fucking incoherent storylines and trying to do something to duct tape them together into sensical stuff. Do your magic.
Yeah, that's basically what Paul Heyman has kind of done. But Triple H, the gist of this promo is, I want to fuck you, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, that I've heard. If you take this exact promo word for word and just exchange the word fight for the word fuck every time it's used, that it becomes the greatest thing of all time.
Triple H is challenging Brock Lesnar for a one-on-one match at SummerSlam because why not?
Yeah.
And
because every hot new act that comes, or not new, but every hot unusual act that comes through recently has to wrestle Triple H. Just like last year it was Punk, now it's Brock. He only didn't wrestle Rock because they don't like each other. Well, Rock wouldn't have fucking done it.
Well, here's the thing. Rocky would have probably worked with Triple H
and done the job.
Because that's the type of guy he is. But Brock, I don't know. way too much of a prima donna right now.
Yeah, I mean, Brock probably likes Cena. They came up together at around the same time.
Well,
They were training together in OVW forever. They broke in around the same time.
and also, Brock Lesnar kind of made Cena.
Yeah, they did have a little mini feud together there in SmackDown, which
Yeah,
did.
that was Cena's face turn, wasn't it?
That was Cena's. That was Cena's turn from having no character to, hi, I'm the doctor of thugonomics. How you doing?
Yeah. It's in that period where Cena started feuding with like a bunch of guys who were way further up the card than him and never actually winning any matches, but still getting noticed and kind of getting over.
He did beat Chris Jericho.
Yeah, but I mean, he was like
Yeah.
feuding with Brock and losing, and feuding with
And
Taker and losing and losing.
Brock busted his knee, and so John Cena did the famous, you got the F5, I got the FU, yeah, yada, yada, yada. But anyways, this match I don't want to see because I don't care about Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
The only reason I want to see it is because I'm curious what they're going to do with it.
There's that.
And I love Brock when he's here and shows up and decides he wants to work. That match with Cena was fucking awesome.
They're gonna job
But-
Brock to Triple H if this actually happens.
Yeah.
And I don't think Brock wants that. I think he wants at least one win in this run.
I know,
I
but
wouldn't
really,
blame him.
I think WWE is actually looking. I mean, with all the shit he's done, they might actually be looking for some way to say he breached his contract.
And you know what? Here's the thing. They might have it with this UFC appearance. And also him talking to Dana White about coming back to UFC. Brock Lesnar can't do UFC anymore. He'll die. I don't know why he would even be considering going back to the UFC.
I would think it wouldn't be to fight, or at least I would hope, just considering that, I saw the last fight and didn't look like Brock did pre, massive surgery on his intestines.
Oh, I saw Brock Lesnar fight a couple times. The dude was a legit powerhouse, and really, really brought some excitement to UFC. But now,
and he still is, but he's like at best 75% of what he used to be.
Yeah,
and these guys are all so good at this top level of fighting that like 0.5% means winning or losing a fight.
So let's get off UFC and Triple H wanting Brock Lesnar's dick in his ass.
Yeah, thanks, Triple H. You're so awesome and captivating in your promos. We talked about an entirely different industry. Well done.
Hey, it's AJ talking to her ex-boyfriend Daniel Bryan. Again, more of this manipulation, more of this. I'm the center of attention, and I know you guys have seen it. There is a GIF floating around the internet of AJ back when she was in FCW, where she gets slapped, and then gets this really creepy, but oh so adorable grin on her face. This girl was made for this role.
That's domestic abuse, and I'll take it.
Well, it was from another female, so lesbianism.
Hey, Divas time.
And hold on a second. Hey, Jingus. It didn't end in a roll-up.
I actually like this match. I thought it was. They told a really good story out there.
Well, here's the thing. Layla is definitely back. I am so glad Layla is back because
what did she used to ever be good? Because when she was with Laycool, I didn't remember them being anything worth talking about. But she was really good here.
No, the problem there was she hitched her wagon to Michelle McCool, and everyone just kind of forgot. Everyone just kind of forgot. Oh, she's actually good.
Layla had, I mean, okay, she started off as, one of the extreme expose dancers, but when they set her down and said, hey, do you want to be a wrestler? She was like, yeah. And it's just been amazing. Now, granted, that year off she took for the knee injury, probably helped her out because she's been just phenomenal since she's been back. And the way she, okay, it's with Beth Phoenix. When has Beth Phoenix had a bad match?
Oh, lots with various of the divas.
You mean with Kelly Kelly? Because that's all they.
Yeah, this woman has wrestled Bella Twins and Rosa Mendez.
And still pulled out a pretty damn decent match.
Now, she's done what she could, but there's only so much polishing you can do on that turd.
Yeah, but this was actually a damn decent Divas match, and I really, really wish John Laurinaitis was not looking for new divas out of swimsuit talent.
And did you notice that they took their time? They're like, we've actually got 10 minutes. Let's not rush everything like sprinting maniacs like we have to do in our 90-second long matches on Raw.
Or SmackDown.
Whichever show. Does it matter anymore?
No,
there's no grand extension.
I mean, my favorite spot, of course, was the press slam into the DDT.
Yeah, that was cool. And I want a gif of the dance that Layla did when she stole the tiara. I don't know what the fuck that was, but I found it entertaining.
Okay, granted, I was liking the Divas of Doom if it had gone somewhere. It was like the more intense version of Lay Cool, but it went nowhere. So Beth Phoenix's credibility kind of went down the crapper. Yeah, and then the farting gimmick kind of killed Natalya. But
yeah, it's gonna be a long time if she's ever gonna get back over again, which I doubt.
Well, anyways, Layla wins with her neck breaker, and
more AJ, yay!
Yay!
And this is easily the weirdest part of the night because she goes to find Kane and do the same thing that she did to CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, except she goes to leave.
Kane is in a dark basement.
No, of course, but she goes to leave and Kane is like, we ain't done here, and pulls her back and then just sticks his tongue down her throat.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it here. AJ and Kane are totally my OTP right now. I am shipping the fuck out of that. I am so hopeful.
Dude, Kane always works so well when they just put him together with a chick who's not all there. Well, okay. And when they did it with Tori back in the day in like late 99, it was awesome.
And then Lita, say what you want about Lita. The Kane-Lita thing, when Lita turned heel, worked.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why.
Lita wasn't heel when she was with Kane, though, was she?
She actually...
No, it's when they did the thing with Edge before Matt Hardy came back.
Yeah.
So, the Kane, the Lita turning heel happened when she was with Kane, and then Matt came back and... Yeah, that happened.
Well, there are little parts. The one I'll always remember is... After Lita left the company, they brought her back for little one-shots here and there a few times, just for like the, 9,000th episode of Raw or whatever. And one time they did a deal where she was there and she just ran into Kane backstage. Yeah. And they both acted like both of them were so nervous at seeing each other again, and it was so awkward. They started like trying to talk about movies and the weather, and it just died. It was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen.
Okay, and say what you will about Kane's acting skills, the dude actually has the chops to pull off a comedic role or to pull off a fucking monstrous role. I love See No Evil. It's a bad horror movie, but it's one of those bad horror movies that I enjoy watching.
Still the second best movie WWE's ever managed to crap out, which ain't saying much, but
that's true. But yeah, I mean, again, AJ, I dig Crazy Chicks. I'm here in Virginia. Come on down. It's only a 4-hour drive.
And I think Kane is not his acting skills isn't the problem. It's that he's a magnet for bad writing, and not just bad writing, but sometimes the worst writing.
Yeah, well,
Don't know why. He gets more wrestle crap foisted off onto him, and he's such a company guy. He's just like, yeah, boss, I'll make it work.
yeah. Now here's another thing that's interesting. Remember when Kane was feuding with Randy Orton? I know we all want to forget that. Remember his reasonings was because he shook Randy's hand before he went out on injury. That humanized him. Now he's making out with the unstable chick.
Well, respect to a dude is different from lust from a chick. I mean,
No, I guess so. Anyway, Sin Cara versus Honeycomb.
Why is this happening?
This on pay-per-view.
You know,
Why does
I
Hunico
like-
still work here?
I mean, I like Hunico a lot. He seems like the lost Guerrero at times, but what the fuck?
they had quite possibly the best Sin Cara mask I've ever seen with Sin Cara Negro, and I still want to find one of those masks. But
Can you remember when Sin Cara first debuted and we're like, wow, this guy could really fucking be something? Those were the days, huh?
well,
Yeah.
part of the problem is the WWE has this obsession with the fact that they say Sin Cara must wrestle under these lights. He's
Yeah.
Well, you forget he's Triple H's pet project, so
Right.
yeah, he's gonna get.
And now they're still doing the blue lights, even though now he's wearing red gear.
Here's another thing. He's got mesh eye holes in his mask.
Yeah, so this guy's already half blind. Let's lower the lights down.
I'm gonna say this. A lot of the Sin Cara botches that we see is because he can't see.
Then again, it's the exact same kind of eye holes he used when he was in Mexico as Mystico, so you'd think he'd be used to it.
Well, the problem I need to track down a Mystico match, but I don't think they had the lights turned way down low.
No, they didn't change the lights, but
That's the
they're
issue.
still bright enough that the cameras are clearly catching everything. I mean, you could see. I don't think it could be a factor. I don't think it's the factor.
No, I don't think it's.
They're not the factor.
Yeah, I'm just saying there's a ton of factors, but and again, this match,
At least these two can kind of work together.
yeah, I mean
This was too long to be a Raw sprint, too short to be a pay-per-view match. Pointless. No, there was no storyline at all here, was there? Other than, well, we want Sin Cara on a pay-per-view, and oh shit, this is the only guy he has good matches with.
the story is the story that we've seen all the time. Honeyco hates Sin Cara.
Mm.
That's it. That's the only reason he this guy, and he's still coming out on that fucking fight.
Ugh.
Oh well, it happened. It wasted 5 minutes of our time. It was like watching Frankenstein on Conan O'Brien for a week. But anyway.
Now we have the God damn it, Cena's main eventing.
Yeah, that's never gonna change until he retires.
Poor guy.
Sadly. I don't know. I wish they would do some surveys to find out, like, how many of the people who bought this show actually bought it because they gave a fuck about Cena versus Big Show.
I can't even imagine that Cena is all that happy that he always is in the main event.
Oh, he gets
over
paid more
so
for it,
much
so
of it.
I'm
Well,
sure.
okay, yeah,
he's
good
fine
point.
with it.
No, hold on a second. Yeah, he gets paid more for it, but you got to remember, Cena is one of those guys who wants to put over other people, but creative and management is like, no, we got to keep selling your merch, and he's like, well, fuck me. Anyways, we'll talk about Cena.
I just don't understand why he always has to get the main event, because let's be perfectly fucking honest. In the grand scheme of things, it probably doesn't matter that much what order the matches go in.
Yeah.
Not ultimately. It looks bad. But if you bought the entire fucking pay-per-view, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna watch every second that you paid for.
Yeah,
Because it's expensive. It just looks really shitty.
yeah, it really doesn't. that's part of the reason why I hate seeing anything but a championship match go on last in any company. Anyways,
Yeah.
but we
Anyway, but this is second or third from the top, and it is a championship match, three-way, Punk versus Bryan versus Kane, and match of the night, easily, good match. Not the
Yeah.
best that Punk and Bryan will ever have, but
the problem is they have Kane in with them, and Punk and Bryan by themselves are just phenomenal. If you throw in AJ Styles, it's all of a sudden it becomes a masterpiece. You throw in Samoa Joe when he gets when he gives a fuck, and well, floods start happening from every mark in the world. But
Iron Bite,
yeah,
quit. Just stop.
okay.
You're just gonna make everyone sad.
fantasy booking at this point.
Yeah, let's talk about the match.
This match
And
was
Excuse me.
good.
it was your typical good main event championship three-way match in the WWE, basically.
Right.
Except
I
with
liked it.
Punk and Bryan are good at adding those little touches that a lot of guys either can't or won't.
There was one thing early on where Kane's on his knees and Punk and Bryan are taking turns kicking him,
Yeah.
which was kind of hilarious and cool.
This is actually a spot from which Bryan is familiar with, because the first time I ever saw it was the main event of the first Ring of Honor show with Bryan Danielson, Loki, and who was the third guy?
If you say
Christopher Daniels in a three-way.
oh,
And AJ, I mean, not AJ, what the fuck am I saying? Danielson and Loki did that spot on Daniels, who was not happy at getting kicked a lot.
you got to imagine that
And of course, with Loki, he was getting kicked a fuck of a lot harder than Kane was here. So.
well, duh, but you got to imagine that Bryan and Punk sit in the back planning out their matches, going. So you remember that spot we did, and
Yeah.
on that one.
Working IWA Mid-South. I think we were in Kentucky somewhere.
Yeah, I remember. Oh yeah, you want to do that spot? Okay. Should we tell Glenn? Yeah, let's tell him. Hey, Glenn, get over here. What? We're planning out this match. You guys plan? Don't
Be like, yeah,
you used
people
to.
do that. I
Used
mean,
to.
they plan whenever I have to be set on fire, but other than that,
But a lot of what makes the Bryan Punk matches awesome to watch is you can tell that they sit backstage through most of the show together, working out spots and actually planning the match, so they can do very little calling during the match itself.
which
And,
can be a double-edged sword.
yeah, it can't be a double-edged sword, but I'm talking this is Daniel Bryan and CM Punk.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to do it well. And
Iron Bite has a fight with his microphone.
apparently,
Yeah, and meanwhile, I'll point out there were no rear chin locks and no shoulders getting thrown into the post spots in this match. So thank you for that, guys.
no,
Because for the rest of this show, wow, there was a lot of that.
Yeah.
yeah, there's two matches. Anyways, but
We could go on forever talking about all the great spots
Yeah.
in this match.
so we will. Daniel Bryan doing the double missile drop kick spot again to Punk and Kane. It's like, wow. And then
Which, that's a hard bump to take, by the way, because
Yeah,
you're
it is.
leaping straight forward, kind of basic, almost guaranteed to land on your lower back and a little bit on your tailbone. That's a rough fucking bump to take, but he was enthusiastic about it.
yeah. And then doing well, let me alternate you. I kick you, then I kick you, then I kick you,
Yeah.
then I kick you.
Then he just kicked Punk and Kane forever.
Yeah, that's
Still doing it right now.
and Kane basically was in this match to just take bumps. But when he started doing his spots, the flying forearm from the top rope, and all the other good Kane spots, it actually added to the match. It added to this three-way, which was good. But again,
Kane is basically Kane, to an extent, is like a heavier version of Sting back in the '90s. Kane match is going to be exactly as good as his opponent is.
Right.
I mean, he doesn't need to be carried, but he's not a carrier.
No, he is a guy who will, he will make you look like $1,000,000, and he made them, you know, he made Brian Punk look like $1,000,000. Now, will this be the end of Kane in this main event feud?
Oh no, no.
It
Because
depends on what they're doing with the AJ thing.
yeah, well, let's get into that because the finish is Kane chokeslams Punk, but only gets a 2 count. So he sets him up for the tombstone, but Punk manages to slide out and get to the apron. AJ runs out, jumps on the apron. Punk throws Kane into her, knocks her out cold, gets him up for the GTS. Punk retains.
She went flying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did.
She went, wah! If you remember that time that Lillian Garcia accidentally got knocked off the apron
By Charlie Haas.
Oh
yeah, when Charlie Haas was running the ropes, it kind of looked like that.
It did. But at the end, as he's celebrating, AJ is like, "Oh, I'm back. Hi, Punk. Hi, Chick Magnet."
Yeah, Kane picks her up and carries her and he thinks she's a limp, unconscious corpse to the back, and she's like, "Oh my god, I'm hurt so bad." And then she's looking over Kane's shoulder where he can't see, and just giving this crazy.
She looked so pleased with herself, just like, "Oh fuck yes, all of my plans, they are coming together perfectly."
I don't know where she's going with it. I honestly don't. But god damn,
you know what?
It's a great ride, though.
You know what? As dumb as it sounds, I think my theory is that she wants the WWE title for herself.
I know that
could probably
the
never
most glorious fucking thing.
I know
Does 87 pounds count as heavyweight?
Well, no, it's not the heavyweight title. The WWE title does not say heavyweight anywhere in it. I don't even think there's a stipulation that says a woman can't hold it. They just never booked
it. Is the spinny weight belt.
Oh god.
See, obviously there's no way in hell they'd actually put the belt on a woman because we
know.
There's reasons.
We know. But
they're kind of shitty, but
still.
But now all I can think is that she's gonna end up dating. Just imagine the belt going on Kane, because yes, I'm sticking to my ship. God damn it! I could just see her wearing it. Like he has the belt, but she always has it on her. It's just like it's mine, it's shiny.
Honey, can I wear it? And she just stares at him, and he's like, "Yes, ma'am." And he's carrying her purse.
Guys, I do sometimes like to do this, but AJ just wearing the belt and nothing else. She could actually wear it as a dress.
Well, no. But it would make a half-bad sash.
No. It would be better than fucking Madison Rain's dumbass.
You could probably pull off some really tasteful nudes with just that belt. It's actually big enough.
So...
God damn it, Iron Bite!
I know, you love me.
Anyway, our next match, we have Rhino back. We got Royd back. We got Ryback.
Ryback does a thing. Let's move on to the main event.
I don't care. You know what? I just want to say passing. Yes, Ryback, I will feed you more. Come over here. I have Twinkies.
I'm sorry, that's all I do with Ryback now. Ryback does a thing because it's the same thing every time.
Yeah, and it's not. And I've heard people going, "Oh, well, he mixes it up." Oh, no, he doesn't.
No, he really doesn't.
He slams
4 moves he uses.
He slams one jobber into he no sells the offense. He slams one jobber into the other. He kills both jobbers dead. And then he hits them. Then he hits them with his finisher simultaneously. Yes, putting 2 men on your shoulders is impressive, except when you do it 37,000.
Yeah, it was really cool the first time.
I think
And
this
now
guy
it's
would be
getting old.
getting.
And now it's getting old.
I think he'd be getting over easier if they weren't pushing him so hard. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but I think the audience, especially with the Goldberg chant every week, is realizing, okay, they're trying to make this guy into a monster, and we've seen this so many times that we don't buy it anymore.
Yeah.
The thing is that it was a good idea. They're just dragging it out too
They
long.
might as well start chanting Crimson, Crimson.
No, it's.
I've laughed so hard. But
I would love to see Crimson versus Ryback, if only to hope with to hope with hands akimbo that God would strike them both down dead.
Every single time they go to a double count out.
the
Fuck!
thing is, though,
God.
I'm always going to end up being stuck on two minds of this. On one hand, they really should have switched him over to, actual wrestlers from WWE by now.
They
Yeah.
did
On the
for
other
a
hand, like,
while, but then they were
two
like,
jobbers got to
no.
be on a pay-per-view, and it's just like, those two guys are so fucking lucky, and I'm so happy for them. Because that had to have been fucking awesome.
Here's another thing. Once again, the WWE looks out on the street, with a sign saying "Need two jobbers to be squashed. Inquire within," and then just takes the first two random guys who have any form of wrestling training and says, "Hey, you want a pay-per-view check? Here you go." And it's just I'm done.
Yeah, and why are complete no-name jobbers in the semi-main event of a pay-per-view?
I don't know. Look, Ryback does a thing. Move on.
Okay.
Yeah, let's move on.
Main event.
We've talked longer than the match
God.
lasted.
Yeah, basically.
Probably.
John,
Main event. John Cena versus Big Show cage match. This sucked. This is the worst match these guys have ever had together.
and that's saying a lot because these two have had damn decent matches.
I mean, Show was trying, but Cena wasn't. He looked like he was on autopilot. He was out there practically acting like it was the Raw dark match half the time.
Yeah, I mean,
Which
And like
is a shame.
90%
I was actually looking forward to this.
Like 90% of the match was Cena downselling. For people who say that he never sells, watch this, you'll love it. And then like 80% of his offense was trying to run away out of the cage.
which was smart because, yeah.
The way they did it, it made him look like a coward.
Well,
This wasn't like, haha, I fooled you. This was, oh my god, I gotta go.
I'm actually going to go back to before WrestleMania when Daniel Bryan was hot as fucking shit as the World Heavyweight Champion, and he had a cage match with Big Show and Mark Henry, and the very first thing, when the bell rings, Daniel Bryan tries to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck you, I'm out. And
Cena's not supposed to do that. Cena's supposed to stand and fight.
Cena's supposed to. I'm Cena. I'm the hero of kids worldwide. I will stand up to the bullies and be a star.
And in this match, he was more like, run away!
I don't understand this match. I really don't.
Big Show walked the top rope and dropped an elbow off of it. It was bizarre.
It was like someone told Show, it's like, hey Show, make it count. And he was like, okay. And then somebody went, that same person went to Cena and went, Cena, you can do whatever the fuck you want. We don't care. Oh, sweet night off.
Doesn't count.
I mean,
And there was a shitload of overbooking and interference.
oh god,
Everyone interfered.
It's
it
amazing
was
how you
Zack
do a
Ryder.
ref bump in a fucking cage match, but they managed it.
Okay, so we get a ref bump after Laurinaitis and Vince go head to head during this, and Laurinaitis even knocks Vince out.
Is there a ref bump in a cage match?
And there's a ref bump.
The ref doesn't do anything except ring the bell when someone wins. He can't disqualify anyone.
Well, here's the thing. The ref inside the cage is there to count the pinfall or submission, because as we all know, you can win in a cage match by pinfall or submission and escaping the cage. So we get the ref bump, and this brings and as Cena is trying to crawl out of the cage, Laurinaitis and Vince wrestle over to the door. Finally, Laurinaitis wins, slams it into Cena's head, and this brings out almost the entire locker room. First comes out Brodus Clay to stop Show from getting out. Then comes Santino.
Brodus no longer remembering that he had an injured leg earlier that night.
Well, yeah, he's down. Then comes out.
He got better.
Yeah, he got better. Then comes out Santino Marella and Alex fucking Riley.
I thought I saw cobwebs on him for where he'd been stored in the company warehouse.
Yeah. Then comes out Zack Ryder because the crowd had been chanting all night, "We want Ryder."
Massive pop for Zack Ryder. One punch and he's dead 5 seconds later.
Yeah. Then brings out Kofi Kingston. And it's like, no. And then as Big Show is trying to crawl through the door, Brodus Clay is like, no,
You better not.
No, you better not. Oh, Laurinaitis is trying to do something. Hold on a second, Joe. And Clay grabs Laurinaitis so that Cena, because Laurinaitis is swinging his little crutch at Cena.
Cena gets out and wins.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh.
So Laurinaitis has been on a crutch all night long. I guess at the end it's supposed to imply that
he was faking it. He was faking the whole time.
Wasn't he really injured?
No, no, he wasn't. He's been faking this injury since Over the Limit.
Yeah, he's been selling the Cena beatdown that he got from Over the Limit.
It was
despite the fact I'm sure that match ended with him doing a victory lap.
So Cena picks him up for the AA. Vince gets in his face and says, "You're fired." And Cena FUs him through the Spanish announce table.
And Michael Cole is like, what's going to happen now that Raw and SmackDown no longer have a general manager? Cole?
They're going to hire someone else.
It's going to be Rick.
The most annoying guy tonight.
No,
he sucked tonight. What the hell?
It's going to be Ric Flair.
What?
Yeah, they rehired him. They got to do something with him.
Wait, when did they
make
retire
sense.
him? I thought TNA was still doing that whole, you can't touch our talent.
Nope. He left right after that.
Right before that.
Well, they've had Flair as the GM before. Why not again?
You know what? I'm not that, but I got to talk about this a little bit more. I have not cared for John Laurinaitis since he showed up last year at Money in the Bank. I haven't.
Okay, John Laurinaitis doesn't care about you either.
Shut up, Laurinaitis. The men are talking. I have not cared. I understand. You know who was a good lackey for Vince McMahon? Pat Patterson. Gerald Briscoe. The Stooges. They were good lackeys. John Laurinaitis is the most ineffective little pissant of a person who doesn't make good decisions, who obviously doesn't make good decisions, and for some reason is still in the spotlight. And I just don't understand why they thought, oh, you'd make a good on-screen talent, right, John? You were part of the Dynamic Dudes, right? Yeah.
So tell me this: better or worse than Mike Adamle?
Better.
Definitely
better. Or worse than original Vicky Guerrero?
Worse.
Worse.
Because Vicky originally got shockingly good, but when she first started, ooh.
Yeah. Vicky Guerrero really came into her own after she stopped trying to play a role she wasn't meant to be. She's a good manager. She definitely is. And, I hate to say this, but I would have loved to see this Vicky Guerrero with Eddie.
That would have been awesome.
Orale!
Her managing heel Eddie, that would have been great.
Mm.
Things that could have been.
Yeah, things that could have been.
Mhm.
Oh, I think it's time to play.
Why did he have to take so many drugs?
Yeah, I know.
Well, we know
So
why.
I
Wrestler wouldn't have got hired to the WWE in the first place if we did do all the hemorrhoids. But anyway,
so
allegedly. Anyway,
I guess we're done now.
yeah, that's pretty much it.
I guess we'll finish
Yeah.
it up with it's all HBK's fault.
You know,
I have my
Yep.
first and only wrestling OTP, and it's HBK's fault.
really?
Overbooked finishes are all HBK's fault.
So many chin locks are HBK's fault.
The fact that two random jobbers taken off the street and put in a match with Ryback is all HBK's fault.
Well, I guess that pretty much wraps it up for the night, ladies and gentlemen. Just
Yep.
wait a second. That we have a sheet here to officially list all of our little plugs, don't we?
Yeah, who wants to read it?
Oh, I'll do it.
Yay, shill time.
So don't forget to subscribe to us on Blip TV or our YouTube to keep up to date with all our videos. You can also like us on Facebook, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter at DarkMatch Wrestling. You can follow us individually on Twitter as well. And don't forget to check out PRE Productions, where all our video plus a lot of other great stuff is hosted. We're also on Reviewtopia in the community section. And last, and certainly not least, visit us at the Spoonie Experiment Forum, specifically the Wrestle section, where we like to hang out. And you can chat with us and do other things with us. I make things so creepy.
We take PayPal payments.
That we do.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been fun having all of you with us tonight. For everyone at the Dark Match, I'm Jingus.
I'm your fox friend Backlash.
I'm Duo's Angel.
I'm Ironbite, and I think this was the shortest show with me and Jingus on it.
Possibly.
Good night, everybody, and good luck.